That started earlier today in Union Square have now grown in numbers as demonstrators have now marched north through Manhattan. Here is a live look at some of the crowds here. They've reached even Gracie Mansion, the official residence of the mayor. Ali Bauman joins us now live from the Upper East Side with how that situation is looking today. Ali?
Well, Christina, Dana, like you've said, they've been out here all day, all afternoon, and right now we're right by Gracie Mansion, the mayor's residence, and you can see there is a absolute sea of people walking right now on East 89th Street away. They were just diverted away from Gracie Mansion by police and by security, and so far from what we've seen today, it has been overwhelmingly peaceful. We met up with this crowd just a short time ago at Union Square, 14th Street, 70 blocks down, as thousands of demonstrators marched through on the sixth day of protests here in New York City. We've seen police today following behind, at times blocking traffic from the protesters. And from Union Square, this crowd headed up and east, stopping on 3rd Avenue, 1st Avenue along all the way until they got up here by the 90s. We've noticed that the rally started earlier than the past few days, which makes sense because the curfew tonight goes into effect 3 hours earlier than yesterday, starting at 8 p.m. tonight until 5 a.m. The mayor says this curfew will be in effect every night for the rest of this week, and that's an effort by City Hall and the governor's office to curb the looting and violence that we've seen at nightfall. And in addition to the curfew, the NYPD has started mandatory 12-hour shifts and double patrols in Manhattan and Brooklyn. Earlier this afternoon, we caught up with a Mount Sinai nurse who, after a long shift, came out to join the demonstrators in Union Square.
It's affecting all of us, and we're all in this together. We don't like what's going on, but something has to change. And this is the only thing that's left to do. People are quarantined, no unemployment checks. People are feeling it. People are feeling it. So this is the outlet, and it's really sad.
And along with that 8 p.m. curfew, the NYPD says that there will be no car traffic allowed in Manhattan past 8 p.m. below 96th Street. And again, that curfew goes from 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. for the rest of this week. We're live now on the Upper East Side. Ali Bauman, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Ali, thank you. That curfew now officially under 2 hours away. Let's check in with Chopper 2. Dan Rice has been flying over these protests all afternoon. Let's get a bird's eye view of what he can see. Dan?
And Christine, this group has been making its way through the city for a good portion of the afternoon. Now, as you saw, we're not far from where Ali is. We're looking down at 1st Avenue. This is by East 88th Street. Now, this group started up 1st Avenue, made their way over towards Gracie Mansion, and once they got to Gracie Mansion, they started making their way back into the city. Now, that's 89th Street, 88th Street. We're going to bring the camera over here to 2nd Avenue, and as you can see, what the group is doing is they're making their way down through the city. They've just been turning at different streets and making their way more towards the center of the city. But again, everything at this point has been peaceful. They've been marching through the streets, getting their message out, and just making their way through the city. Live in Chopper 2, Dan Rice, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Dan, thank you so much for that perspective. In the meantime, protesters are demonstrating, as we mentioned, all across the city. CBS 2's Natalie Duddridge, she is live in the West Village for us, where people are gathering this evening. Natalie?
Well, this crowd here, it has been loud, it has been proud, but it has been peaceful, and we are just starting to see this rally start to move. It looks like they are headed eastbound. Now, this rally is at the location in Greenwich Village, of course, the site of the 1969 gay rights protests against police brutality. Now, we saw people gather here earlier than usual today, and that might be because of that curfew that is taking effect at 8 p.m. tonight. We have seen marchers all over the city through Soho, Tribeca, as Ali told us about, Union Square, Midtown, merging with other groups, hundreds forming into thousands. But again, they will have to go home early, that curfew taking effect at 8 p.m. Now, if you are out after 8 in a large group, you can get a ticket. If you're an essential worker, you can still go to work. You can still order food. That, of course, is an essential service. But as for driving, officials say stay off the road below 96th Street in Manhattan unless you absolutely have to go somewhere. And that will help police control the violence that we have seen break out after sundown. But so far, the mood here and at many other rallies around the city have been peaceful. But once again, there are very large crowds, and these people will eventually have to find their way home within the next 2 hours. We are live here in Greenwich Village. Natalie Duddridge, CBS 2 News.
Natalie, thank you.